Hello students, my name is Kritika and I am your computer digital mentor. Today we are going to start our chapter number 3, that is more feature of MS Access. Previously we have learned about MS Access. Now we are going to learn about more features of MS Access. So let's have a look at some lesson objectives. First we have select field or record in MS Access. Then second is use the find and replace feature. Then third, learn to filter data. Then change table view, rename a field and add delete field in a table. Then we have establish relationship between tables. So students, now let's start our chapter. Microsoft Access is a database management system from Microsoft that combines the relational Microsoft JET, that is Joint Engine Technology, database engine with graphical uses interface and software development tools. You have already learned about database, advantages of database, components of database, creating, opening and closing a database in MS Access 2010, etc. A table is the basic component of database in which you enter data. In this chapter, you will learn to work with the table. So students, as we have learned previously about some components of database such as advantages, disadvantages and many more, now we are going to learn more about MS Access. So our first topic is selecting field and record. As we need to select a field or a record to make changes in MS Excel, we also need to select a field or a record to make changes in MS Access. So first we are going to learn about is selecting a field. Follow the given steps below to select a field or multiple fields. So if you want to select a field or some multiple fields, you have to follow some steps. So our step 1 is bring the mouse pointer over the name of the field that to be selected. The mouse pointer turns to a down arrow, then click to select the field. Then next step is to select multiple fields. Place the mouse pointer over the name of the first field, then move the mouse pointer downwards until you highlight all the fields that to be selected. So students, this kind of interface you might see when you select a field. Here you can see the interface of selecting a field. Now next we have selecting a record. So follow the steps given below to select a record or multiple records. So first step is bring your mouse pointer over the area to the left of the record that to be selected. The mouse pointer turns to a right arrow. Click to select the record. Now step 2. If you want to select multiple records, position your mouse pointer over the area to the left of the first record. Then move the right arrow until you highlight all the records that to be selected. Here you can see the interface of selecting a record. Now students, next we are going to learn about selecting a cell or multiple cells. Now we are going to learn how will you select a cell or a multiple cell in MS Access. Follow the steps given below to select a cell or multiple cells. So if you want to select a cell or multiple cells, you have to follow this step. First we have bring your mouse pointer over the left edge of the cell that to be selected. The mouse pointer turns to a plus sign. Then click to select the cell. Now second is, if you want to select multiple cells, place the mouse pointer over the left edge of the first cell. Then move the mouse until you highlight all the cells that to be selected. Now students, here you can see the interface of selecting a cell. Now let's jump to our next topic, that is find and replace features. Now students, in this topic we are going to learn about how will we find or replace a feature. So Access doesn't care which record you click as long as you are on a record in the correct field. Access knows exactly which field you want to find in. You have already learned the function of find and replace command. These commands are also useful in MS Access when you have to find and replace something in a large database. Find enables you to quickly search tables, queries and form quickly for specified database task. Select a field to search through all records in the current field only. This generally fast, particularly if the field is indexed, or select the datasheet or form to search through all fields in all records. Now next we have applying find option. How will you apply find option? Follow the steps given below to apply find option. So first step is open the table in where you want to use find option. Select the field, that is a column, that to be searched. Then next step is click on home tab on the ribbon. Next, click on find option located in the find group or press Ctrl and F. Then next step is the find and replace dialog box displays with the find tab. You will also notice various sub options in the dialog box. Next step is in the find what text box, enter the name that to be searched, for example, sales. Now, look in drop down box allows you to search only the field or all the fields in the entire table. Then next, match drop down box provides you the option to select any one of the match types. Click on any part of field. This allows the broadest possible search. Now next, search drop down box enables you to search up or down from the insertion point or search the whole document. The next, match case enables you to find only text that has the same pattern of uppercase and lowercase characters as the text you defined. The next, search field as formatted checkbox enables you to check the search based on the format. So students, here you can see the interface along with the step. Now students, it's time to know an interesting fact, that is, a query is a request for data results and for action on data. You can use a query to answer a simple question, to perform calculations, to combine data from different tables. Now students, let's learn about applying replace option. So how will you apply replace option? Let's learn about it. So first step is open the table where you want to make replacement. Select the field, that is column, that to be searched and then replace. Now click on the home tab on the ribbon. Then click on the replace option located in the field group or press Ctrl and H. The find and replace dialog box displays with different sub option. With the replace tab in the find what text box, enter the name you want to change. For example, sales representative. Here you want to change every phrase sales representative with the phrase sales head. This type of interface you might see when you replace any text. Now here you can see the interface of using replace option. Then select the replace with text box by clicking on it and enter sales head. Now click on replace all button. This is how you can replace your text. MS Access finds all the occurrences of the phrase sales representative in the table and changes them with the word sales head. So students, this is how you can change the phrase sales representative by the phrase sales head. Now students, let's start our new topic, that is sorting records. In MS Access, we can sort records in a specific order, ascending or descending. When you sort records, you are putting them into a logical order with similar data grouped together. As a result, sorted data is often simpler to read and understand than unsorted data. You can change the order of records in a table. This can enable you find categories and analyze data. Follow the steps given below to sort the records. So students, if you want to sort your records, you have to follow these steps. And our step 1 is open the table where you want to sort records. Then click on the column header for the field that to be sorted. Then next, click on the home tab on the ribbon. Then click on either of the sort options. Now next, click on ascending to sort the records in ascending order and click on descending to sort the records in descending order. Now the record will display in the new order. So this is how you can sort your records. Here you can see the interface of sorting record. Now let's start our new topic, that is filtering data. Filtering data by selection. So students, in this topic we are going to learn filtering data by selection. So if you want to appear your desired data, then you can use the filter option. Filtering enables you to review and analyze information in your database. Filtering is a useful way to see only the data that you want displayed in Access database. Now, can use filter to display specific records in a form, report, and query to print only certain records from a report, table, or query. Follow the steps given below to filter data by selection. So, here are some steps you have to follow if you want to filter your data. So, first we have click the data for which you want to use filter option. Access will show only those records that consist of exactly the same data. Now, click on Home tab on ribbon. Here you can see the interface along with this tab. Now, next step is click on Selection option. Drop down arrow to filter the records. Now next, click on equals sales to appear only those records that consist of the required data. Now next, click on toggle filter after reviewing the filtered record to show all the records. Here you can see the interface of filtering data by selection. So this is how you can filter your data by your selection. Now we are going to learn filtering data by form. Filtering data by form allow you to filter by multiple fields and define criteria for as many fields as you like. When you filter by form, you can merge the criteria using AND or a amalgamation of the two and combination find records where both criteria are met, or combination find records where at least one criteria is met. Follow the steps given below to filter data using filter by form. So students, before we learn about these steps, we have an interesting fact, that is Access sort records by their ID number. Now let's continue our steps. So our step 1 is open the table if it is not already open. Now click on Home tab on ribbon, then click on Advanced option drop down arrow located in Sort and Filter group. Now click on Filter by Form. So students, here you can see the interface along with this step. Now next step is in the Filter by Form window, select the field and value that to be used as criteria. Now select Department field, click on the Department drop down arrow. Now select Sales from the list. This will contain only records whose department comprises sales. So students, here you can see the interface of filtering data by form. Now you can create and add criteria statement defining more than one criterion on the same filter by form tab. For example, you could filter for name of the employee who is graphic designer and whose name is Rakesh Arora. Now we are going to learn about using AND. Follow the steps given below to create an AND criteria statement. So our first step is click on the EMP name field, click on the name list arrow and select the name Rakesh Arora of employee from the list. Now click on the toggle filter option. MS Access uses the filter and show only those records whose designation field equals graphic designer and whose name fields equals Rakesh Arora. Only one record meets the filter criteria. Here you can see the interface of using AND criteria. Now we are going to learn about using OR. So if you want to use OR, you have to follow some steps. Our step 1 is open the table if it is not already open. Now click on Home tab on ribbon, then click on Advanced option from Sort and Filter group. Next, click on Filter by Form. A Filter by Form sheet opens. Here you can see the interface. along with the steps. Now open the list from a field and select the value that you want. Now click on the OR tab. A blank filter by form page opens. Now repeat above step to select another criterion. Now next, click on apply filter or sort to apply the filter. This is how you can use OR in MS Access. Now, if you have already performed a filter operation, the last filter that you ran displays in the form. For your convenience, delete it from there if you do not want it by clicking on the advanced option and click on clear all filters. If the clear all filters command is not present, then previously used filter will not clear. Here you can see the interface of using OR. Now we are going to learn about modifying table view. You can view a table in datasheet view and design view. In datasheet view, you can enter data. You can use design view to change the design of the table. Now switch to design view. Follow the steps given below to use design view. You have to follow some steps if you want to use design view. So first step is click on the home tab on the ribbon. Then next, click on the view option drop down arrow. Then next, click on the design view. MS Access will show the design of the table and display the field properties. And here you can see the interface of using design view. Now switch to datasheet view. So follow the steps given below to switch datasheet view. So if you want to switch to datasheet view, there are some steps you have to follow. So first we have click on the home tab on the ribbon, then click on the view option drop down arrow, then click on the datasheet view. MS Access shows the default datasheet view of the table. Here you can see the interface of using datasheet view. Now let's learn about renaming a field. Let's learn about renaming a field. So how will you rename a field? Let's learn about it. If you want to change the name of a field, you can rename the field of the table. Follow the steps given below to rename a field. So if you want to rename a field, you have to follow some steps, and these are: step 1, right click on the field whose name to be changed. A menu will display. Now click on rename field. The field name is highlighted. Now enter a new name for the field and press enter key. The field name shows the new name. So this is how you can rename a field. Here you can see the interface of renaming a field. Now let's learn about adding a field in the table. So how will you add a new field in the table? Let's learn. If you want to add some other information to your table, create a new field. Follow the steps given below to add a new field. So if you want to add a new field, there are some steps you have to follow. So first we have right click the name of the field that you want to be displayed after the new field. A menu will emerge. Now next, click on insert field. A new field displays in the table. MS Access will assign a name to the new field, that is field 1. Now you can rename the field name and add information to it. So students, this is how you can rename your field. And before we move further, let's have a look at our interesting fact. A field that contains unique value is called primary key. Now let's continue our topic, and here you can see the interface of adding a field in the table. So this is how you can add a new field to your table. Now removing a field in the table. After add the field, if you want to remove any field, how will you remove it? So let's learn about you can remove a field that is not required in a table. So follow the steps given below to delete field in the table. So you have to follow some steps, and these are: right click on the field that to be removed. A menu will display. Now click on delete field. A prompt box displays. Now MS Access removes the field and record content for the field from the table. So this is how you can remove any field from your table. Now let's start our new topic, that is creating relationship between tables. So in this topic, we are going to learn about how will we create relationship between table. So as you have learned in previous chapter that MS Access is a relational database. It means that you can establish relationships between tables. It can be done directly in the relationship window. If you want to establish a relationship between two tables, there must be a common field in both the tables. For example, the personal detail table may have an employee ID field, and the employee detail table may also have employee ID field. The two tables can be merged by that field. The field type must be similar in both table for a relationship to exist. तो अगर हमें अपने टेबल्स के बीच में कोई रिलेशनशिप बनाना है तो उसके लिए हमारा जो पहला कॉलम है उसके अंदर भी सेम फील्ड होनी चाहिए और जो हमारा दूसरा टेबल है उसके अंदर भी हमारी सेम फील्ड होनी चाहिए। जैसे कि हमारे फर्स्ट टेबल में हमारे पास एम्प्लॉय आईडी की फील्ड है तो हमारे दूसरे टेबल में भी एम्प्लॉय आईडी की फील्ड होनी चाहिए, तभी हम उनके बीच में एक रिलेशनशिप बिल्ड कर सकते हैं। नाउ इन मोस्ट रिलेशनशिप्स प्राइमरी की फील्ड in on table is associated with a field in the other table that is not its primary key. In one table, the field consists of unique values, whereas in the other table, it does not. The relationship field in the other table is called foreign key. You can create and manage relationship in a special database view called relationship window. You can establish relationships between tables by dragging a field from one table onto a field from another. Follow the steps given below to create relationship between table. So students, if you want to create a relationship between your table, you have to follow some steps, and these are: first, click on database tool tab. Then second, click on relationship option from the ribbon to show the relationship window. The relationship window displays if any relationship already present between the table in your database. A box for each table displays in the window. And here you can see the interface along with this tab. The show table dialog box may also display giving all the tables in your database. If the show table dialog box does not display, click on show table option on the ribbon to appear the dialog box. Now next, click on a table that to be added to the relationship window. Now next, click on the add button to add the table to the window. Repeat the above step for each table that to be added. Now next, when you complete adding tables to the relationships window, click on the close button to remove the show table dialog box. Now next, the relationship window display a box for each table. The primary key for each table appears highlighted. The primary key uniquely identifies each record in a table. Now, you can create a relationship between tables, defining the matching field in the tables. And here you can see the interfaces along with these steps. Now next, bring your mouse pointer over the field you want to use to create a relationship with another table. Now next, move the field with mouse over the other table until a small box displays over the matching field. Now next, the edit relationship dialog box will appear. Table and query and related table and query area show the name of the tables you want to create a relationship between and the names of the matching fields. Now click on the create button to establish a relationship. Then a line connects the field in the two tables to display the relationship is created. Now next, in the relationship between the tables is not required, you can delete it. Click on the line for the relationship that to be deleted. Now next we have press the delete key from the keyboard. A warning dialog box emerges. Confirm the deletion. Now click on the yes button to delete the relationship permanently. Here you can see the interface of creating relationship between table. So students, now you know how will you create a relationship between the tables. Now we are going to learn about creating a form applying wizard. So a form is created to view one or more table from the database file and added data conveniently. Creating forms, you can make your database more user friendly. This type of database can be entered and edited even an unexperienced user. You can create a form applying Form Wizard. The wizard asks you a series of questions and then set up form based on your answers. If you want to use the same data from your table in your form, you can do it with the help of Form Wizard. Now, follow the steps given below to create a form using Wizard. So students, if you want to create a form using Wizard, you have to follow these steps. So, first one is click on the Create tab on the ribbon, then click on the Form Wizard, and here you can see the interface along with the step. Next, a Form Wizard dialog box will display. Now, click on the down arrow of Table Queries to show the list of table in your database. Click on the table comprising the field you want to add in your form. Now next, the field in the table you select, it displays in the available field area. Double click on each field you want to add in your form. Now, to add all the fields at once, click on this button. Now next, each field you have selected displays in the selected field area. And here you can see the interface along with the steps. Now next, if you have selected any field accidentally, double click on field to remove it. To remove all the fields at once, click on this button. Now, click on next button. There are different layouts present for forms. You can select any of them. The layout of a form decides the arrangement of information on the form. Now next, click on the button for a layout that to be used for your form. Preview of the selected layout can be noticed in the prevented area. Now next, click on the next button to continue. And here you can see the interface along with this step. Next, enter a name for your form. Then next, click on the finish button to create your form. You will get a form with the selected field names. Now next, after viewing your form, click on close button to close the form and return to the database window. And here you can see the interface of creating a form using Wizard. Now, students, you know how will you create a form using Wizard. Now, next we have navigate through the records. So, let's learn about Access include navigating control that makes it easy to switch between various forms and reports in your database navigation form. It's simply a form that contains a navigation control. Follow the steps given below to navigate through the record. Click on any of the following buttons. Here you can see some options. First is first record, then next record, then previous record, and then last record. So we have some steps, and these are: you can move to the particular record placing the mouse pointer over the number of the current record. Now enter the number of the record that to be moved and press enter key. Now next, click on new record button to start new blank record. Now next we have changing the view of form. So how will you change the view of your form? Let's learn about it. There are two customized views, design view and layout view. Obtainable to view the form in design view, each object seems as a separate editable element in the form. In layout view, you can rearrange the form, control and adjust their size directly on the form. Now next we have switching to designing view. Follow the steps given below to use designing view. So you have to follow some steps here to use designing view. Then first we have open the form, then next click on the home tab on the ribbon, then next click on view option, next click on design view. MS Access appears the form's design. Now let's learn about switching to layout view. Follow the steps given below to use layout view. First we have click on home tab on the ribbon, then click the view option and then click on layout view. MS Access shows the form as it originally displays, but each element is editable. To return to the form view, you can click on view option and then click on form view. So students, this is it from this chapter. Now what we have learned in this chapter, let's have a look at some key points. First we have selecting a field and a record is an important characteristic in MS Access. MS Access के अंदर field को select करना और record को select करना एक बहुत ही important characteristic है. Now next, find and replace command is very useful in MS Access to find and replace something in a large database. किसी भी large database के अंदर find and replace command काफी useful होता है, जिसके वजह से हम अपना बहुत लार्ज डॉक्यूमेंट के अंदर किसी भी वर्ड को या किसी भी फ्रेज को फाइंड कर सकते हैं और उसको दूसरे फ्रेज के साथ रिप्लेस कर सकते हैं. देन वी हैव filtering data can enable you to review and analyze information in your database. MS Access के अंदर filtering database एक ऐसा ऑप्शन है जिसकी वजह से हम अपने डेटाबेस को एनालाइज कर सकते हैं और उसको फिल्टर कर सकते हैं. नेक्स्ट वी हैव in MS Access you can apply the data sheet view and design view. MS Access के अंदर डेटा शीट व्यू को और डिजाइन व्यू को अप्लाई कर सकते हैं. देन अ स्पेशल डेटाबेस व्यू कॉल्ड रिलेशनशिप विंडो अलाउ यू क्रिएट रिलेशनशिप बिटवीन टेबल. डेटाबेस व्यू हमारे पास एक ऑप्शन होता है जिसकी वजह से हम टेबल्स के बीच में एक रिलेशनशिप मेंटेन कर सकते हैं. सो स्टूडेंट्स, this is it from this chapter. Soon we are going to learn about many interesting chapters of computer. Till then, revise what we have learned today. Thank you.